Hey everybody, welcome back to New JANG City. One of the things that I like most about having this channel dedicated just to my work in this city is that I don't need to put up the biggest possible updates to appease the YouTube algorithm. I can just let you see what's been going on recently. Not everything needs to be a big bang, major update. I can just show you little progress along the way. But ironically, today what I have to show you is a big bang thing because my zoo's gone. That's right, it is gone, like gone. It's just not there anymore. These are the original base plates. You can even see little bits of fine dust outline where things used to be. Didn't even move the base plates from where they've been for the past, 5 years now or so. I do have still some of the exhibits or some of the pieces. I didn't take apart completely, but yeah, I wanted to do a little bit of progress on excavation here, but I ended up just going all the way, taking it all the way down. So the animals have been collected together, the employees have been collected together. I held on to just a small number of things, some of which may yet be disassembled. I'm thinking about keeping the aviary, possibly just expanding its size, but keeping it in general. Kind of think in the real world of New JANG City that some things may be preserved through the total remodel of this, but this is the space that I have to work with now. And you see, I started to put some of the monorail, just temporary placement back. This is just me ideating, just trying to figure out what I want to do with this. This is my original idea for the layout, for how it would go, where it would be above ground for the most part. It'll cross here in the front, it'll cross out, so that, just imagine that it would stop around there, probably be hidden behind some trees or some vines or something up there. Still just thinking about it. There's also a possibility, don't worry about that switch, that's not going to be there. But there's also the possibility that I'll make this turn and go in a little bit, depending upon what I want to do in this area, in this corner. I'm still thinking about kind of larger, overall structure, overall layout of the entire thing before I get into too many specifics. But let me take you around to the other side as well. The thing that's really cool to look at here is just how much space was used up by the zoo before compared to how much space I have now. Strictly speaking, the original zoo, the zoo part of it, not including the aquarium part and the little entomology building off to the side, had the space of approximately 4 base plates, plus or minus a bit. Approximately 4 base plates, 2 by 2. It was roughly in this area. Just extended out just a little bit, like right to that edge, right in here. That was it. The new space is approximately 12 base plates. I have approximately, I'm going to say approximately, probably more in this video, 3 times as much space now as I did before. That is tremendous. I did not even realize that. I didn't even look at it to that degree quantitatively before, but it is fantastic. That is so much room to work with. And you can see how basically I'm thinking about looking at the zoo from this side for the most part. So for our perspective, as viewers of this, myself included right now, and myself included even when the camera is off, to look at the thing and actually enjoy it. Once it's done, I'll be doing most of that from this side. The monorail track, at least that's the current plan. The monorail track would come down here, and that's just as quickly as I could bring it back down to the ground. So I don't know if the station or the main stop where people get on and get off will be here or will be elevated across on the other side. I might put it in that corner over there. I might put it out here. I'm not exactly sure about that. I'm still thinking about it, but I have a number of options and kind of the pros and cons to weigh back and forth between them. But at the very least, I want to have this space relatively clear so that myself and you on the other side of the camera, on the other side of the screen, can enjoy the exhibits. And the layouts will be focusing on this view from this side, because obviously no matter what I do, I'm going to have that street and then a little bit of extra, needs to be some buffer room for that outer train loop over there. No matter what, I'm not going to be able to get the camera as close from that side as I can from this side. And here, I'm just right here. Like, imagine, we're looking at that. I can get right in there on that. Of course, right now, I'm cheating a little bit because there's nothing in the way down here, but that's the general idea. We'll be able to come over here and look at it. And this is so, so important for me in my planning today that I didn't really think about that much before, but just making sure that everything can be viewed, can be appreciated. Let's talk about the monorail just a little bit more. So this is just the basic monorail setup with the motor there. Have to put a battery somewhere, and then 2 cars, one attached to either end. Don't worry about what's actually on there. I should be able to fit a maximum of 6 people onto each car. I'm still deciding whether to use 2 cars or 2 of those black base pieces or just one. I could do it with just one and, cover up the motor unit in an interesting way that kind of works. I've thought about, so the very first thing that I thought about for the monorail in terms of its style was to do it as a steamer. That's something that I don't think you see done very frequently, going old school as opposed to futuristic with Lego monorail pieces. People usually go futuristic or they go modern day, and oftentimes 6 studs wide. And I was thinking about going the opposite direction because it would be really just, I guess, cute, to have a little steamer, a little tank engine suggested on that, just built into it, maybe taking up half of one of the cars. But then most likely this is going to be going just out to here, or if it turns in, it'll turn in, and then it'll just come to an end, and then it'll have to go back. So it might need to be double-ended in some way. It needs to make sense to myself and to park visitors and people actually on the train that it will be not turning around, that it'll go both forward and back, the same distance, same speed and everything. So I need to give that some more thought to be sure. But just stand back a little bit more so you can get a little more idea of just how massive this space is. That's a lot, Even though no matter what I do, the animals are going to look cramped in there. I could take up all of this space, all the way out there. And unless I had just a couple of exhibits, the animals would still look like they don't have enough natural space. So no matter what, there's no such thing as enough space. But this is so much more than I had before. And so many people enjoyed the old one, and I enjoyed the old one as well. So I think I'm going to do all right. I think this is going to be okay. I think I'll be able to make this work. I also, just while I was taking stuff apart and had this is the entomology building, minus its skin. I forgot I built it even this way, where I did the interior, and then, you've got some parts that are built in to make the exhibits a little bit smaller on the inside. Some parts that are built into the walls. I wanted to not show all that. And of course I wanted the black interior. That's just something that I wanted because, I don't know, I just felt like it. Felt right. Felt interesting to me. High contrast. Different. But I wanted it concrete on the outside. Didn't want it to clash too much with the other add-on that was next to it, which was the aquarium. So basically it just had a skin on the outside. It just had a 1 brick thick wall outside of the wall, and that just peeled right off when I took the whole thing off the base plates. But since I had this and it was a convenient structure, I just thought, oh, hey, I've got this little triangle of space over here that I've never figured out what to do with at all for any of the ideas I've had for this layout in general. I can use it. I can use some of that space. I can have a building come back here. I can put the toilets back here. I mean, I've got them here already, but I could have more than just 2 stalls. I could put the eatery back here. I could put the gift shop back here. I can figure out something, maybe a specialized interior space. I'm not going to put the aquarium back here. That's not enough space for it. I want a larger, dedicated rectangle or L shape or whatever it's going to be for that. So this is not enough for that. But still, I mean, maybe I could even make this triangle shaped whatever fits into the space so it really takes up all the space. It could be interesting, So that's an option to think about. It's available to me. I'll be filling in all the rest of this with base plates underneath there, figuring out what my color scheme will be. And there's one major, actually, what is the single largest consideration that I have right now, the biggest thing that I'm thinking about, is the shape of the pathway, the walking pathway. So are people going to come in from the center? I may actually keep that original sign, by the way. A lot of people have asked for it. I think it's a good idea, but I might spruce it up just a little bit. But I kind of like the idea for the nostalgia. I think that in universe, the minifigs would appreciate it too. But okay, they're going to walk in. I need to think of the overall layout for them, the walking layout. Like, will they have a path going around and then have an island in the middle? Or will it be kind of a winding thing? Or no matter what, there's going to be a loop, but what shape will that loop be? That walking space. And will there be a way to cut through, or will it kind of branch out in different ways? I need to figure all those things out for myself. There are plenty of options. There are ways that it is done in real life that are the correct ways. There are the most efficient ways. I'll consider all of that. And then I'll do it how it feels right to me. But that's where I'm at. I don't think I have anything else major to show you or to talk about at this time. I have not made any progress on this, tunneling that out. I need to get some more monorail track because I've used up pretty much all the straights that I have from the Unitron set that I bought. Again, this is just temporary. Obviously, those are yellowed. That needs to be fixed with peroxide, no problem. Yeah, I've got more track coming, so I'll be able to fully. What's the word? The word is escaping me. I'll just be able to blank all that in, basically, to have it, in a temporary placement, but showing me exactly how much space will be taken up and exactly what layout is going to work for me for the tracks based on reality. Because I'm not doing this digital. I don't need to, fortunately. I have the luxury of the space being open now, so I can just put things in. I can measure things with the studs, with the pieces and everything, and I think that'll work out just fine. As far as the monorail track is concerned, the only major thing that I need to think about from a more technical perspective is how the tunnel is going to go for it to go down into the hillside. Whether that would be looking like it's part of this concrete pour that was done for this tunnel, for the mainline tunnel, or if it would be an adjacent one, directly up against it, or if there would be a gap in there and it would be completely different construction and different style. And that's partially going to come down to exactly where the line is going to be. Is it going to be a few studs over? Is it going to be a few studs in? Exactly where is that going to end up will determine just the style of the opening there. And then I'll go ahead and punch a larger hole and then start filling in around the sides to make it look nice and make it look like it was supposed to be there the entire time. But that's it for this update. It's a pretty big one. Like I said, the zoo's gone. Oh, and also I should mention that all the pieces that I took out, this is good news. This is really good news. All the pieces that I took out, I've taken all of that stuff apart, and most of the parts have been sorted away back into their proper locations in my parts bin. So it's all usable. It's not another job that is just kind of basically that I've just moved this stuff out of the way and then there's still a whole lot more to be done. No, I'm ready to go. So the next update hopefully should involve more careful placement of and consideration of the monorail tracks, maybe filling in some of the base plates, figuring out what my layout will be for the base plates to make this still somewhat modular so it won't all be one thing. I do still want to be able to take some stuff out to get a closer look, make changes in the future, just kind of think about the system for the foundation, building the foundation, how tall it will be. But I'm moving forward now. No more worrying about the old stuff. It's actually building. I'm actually starting the new zoo. So I'll keep you posted. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you again as soon as I can.